Alright, welcome to another edition of the FantasyFix.com podcast. I'm your host, Brett Talley, here to talk daily fantasy strategy for September 2nd, 2014. Still talking baseball. We'll have a daily football podcast out Friday morning. Not going to bother with the first Thursday game. Alright, let's talk baseball for the day. Really no weather concerns that I'm too worried about. Maybe a little bit of rain in Baltimore, but nothing to shy away from, I don't think. Pitching today, as I've said recently, not really looking at matchups anymore. I've done the research, found there's not a whole lot of correlation, so I'm looking for guys who are good at limiting hard contact and guys who can get strikeouts and not give up walks. So, obviously, best pitcher of the day today is Clayton Kershaw by a country mile, and he's ranked, I guess he's priced like $5,000 more expensive than any pitcher. Even at the price he's at, it's not completely unreasonable. I actually think, based on how much better he is than everybody else pitching today, the price being that much higher than everybody else today is actually about right. So I don't think the price is out of line with how good he is relative to the competition today. However, I just can't spend $15,000 on one pitcher, because you're going to have to spend, in my opinion, at least almost another $7,000 on your second pitcher, and then you're $22,000 in on pitching, and that's close to half your budget of $50,000 on DraftKings. So just can't go there. But if I was going to, I do think you may have to spend a little money on pitching today. The cheap options that I like, the one that comes out the best is Yusmeiro Petit, but he's pitching in Colorado. He's $6,800. He's been really good at limiting hard contact this year. His strikeout minus walk percentage is among the best today. But I don't know. It's Coors, so it scares me. I do have him in one lineup, but I don't know how great I feel about it. So anyway, the next cheapest guy I'm comfortable with is Joe Kelly at $6,100. Joe's been pretty good at limiting hard contact. He's been about 28% better than league average, which is good. However, not so much on the strikeout minus walk rate. Well below average in that department. So it's a risky play, but at $6,100, I'm okay with that. He's the cheapest guy I can go with today. And then if I needed to save money, I also can go with John Neese. He's pretty close to average, both in terms of limiting hard contact and strikeouts minus walks. So Kelly at $6,100 and Neese at $7,100 are my cheap plays. But if I can manage to save enough money on hitting, and we'll talk about that in a second, I like Jake Arrieta at $9,500. He's been fantastic this year, well above average in both of the pitching statistics I'm looking at. Could also see Carlos Carrasco today. He's a strikeout minus walk percentage is very good. He has also managed to limit hard contact so far. I think it's been an issue for him in the past, but doing okay with it this year. And then I guess Adam Wainwright, if I had to give you a third option, I could see him as well. But Arrieta and Carrasco if you got money, Kelly and Neese if you don't. And I really like Yusmeiro Petit. He would be my play of the day if it was anywhere but Coors. And I still might throw him in a lineup somewhere. Alright, hitter stacks today. Because it is a little hard to save money on pitching. Kind of have to look for spots where you might be able to do it with hitting. The problem is that there are some expensive stacks I like today. But one cheap little three-man stack. I guess it's not super cheap, but I really like Josh Donaldson against the lefty. He's the best third baseman against lefties by just a ton this year. He's been mashing them, so I'd love to get him in there against Paxton. I'm guessing he's hitting 3 with Johnny Gomes and Derek Norris behind him, and Gomes is $2,900 and Norris is $3,200. So those guys are pretty cheap. Offsets the expense of Donaldson at $4,900. Like that is a little three-man stack. And that's really the best way to save money today, because I think the stack I like the most is San Francisco. Assuming Mike Morse doesn't play, I'm guessing that lineup's going to be Pagan, Panic, Posey, Sandoval, Pence, and Blanco. And of those 6 guys, the cheapest one is Panic at $3,700, and Blanco's the only one under $4,000 at $3,900. So all 4 of those guys gonna be, or all 6 of those guys are fairly expensive. So tough to save money there. If you're gonna use the Giants, I think you're probably gonna have to have Joe Kelly in that lineup, him being the cheapest pitcher I'm comfortable using today. Also like the Angels stack going against Brad Peacock, who is the worst pitcher going today in terms of limiting hard contact so far this year. Like the top 4 there, Calhoun, Trout, Pujols, and Hamilton. So I like a Giants stack. I like a Angels stack. Also could see a Toronto stack against I forget who Toronto's facing today. I think it's Jeremy Hellickson. I don't dislike Hellickson so much, but I do like Toronto against right-handed pitching just because they're so lefty stacked. And they have switch hitters. Reyes, Melky, Bautista, Lind, E5, Navarro, Rasmus are probably top 7 in that lineup, and they're all going to hit from the left side. Well, Bautista and E5 aren't, but we don't mind using them against righties. Problem is Lind and E5 are both first basemen, so you can't use them together in the same lineup. I'd probably just go with the top 4, Reyes, Melky, Bautista, and Lind there. But San Francisco, LA, and Toronto all going to cost you some money. Like I said, think you can save a little money with the A's if you can figure out a way to put those teams in double stack with the A's. One other hitter note, I really like Lucas Duda today. Duda facing Brad Penny, who's a righty, and he's Brad Penny. And Duda's been crushing righties this year, so I think he's a really nice play. So, yeah, Giants, Blue Jays, Angels, A's, and Duda are the hitters I like. And then Arrieta, Carrasco, Neese, and Kelly are the pitchers I like. So, good luck tomorrow. I'll talk some football with you on Friday.